Now they will explain in detail the benefit of the wild herbs, and I leave you the floor. I hope this will be enriching and a moment enriching.
Good evening. Hello everybody. So I'll start by introducing myself. My name is Nessa Robbins and I'm here to moderate this panel this evening. I'm very delighted to be here. My background is I'm mostly a food stylist and content creator and a recipe developer, but I'm also a food writer and I have a column in the Irish Farmers Journal. It's called The Home Nurse. So in this, I trained and worked as a nurse. So the home nurse, my column kind of merges my two backgrounds of nursing and food. And in it, I would kind of go through different ways to kind of deal with different ailments through food. So fresh herbs are would often come up as a benefit for lots of different conditions, like there would be high vitamin C, and so with the recipes, then it's always something I'd incorporate. So that's partly why I'm so excited to be here tonight, and we have a fantastic panel who will share their insights into wild herbs, exploring their benefits both from a culinary and nutritional perspective. So first of all, we're going to introduce Nicola. Nicole. Sorry, Nicole. And Nicole Dunne is the founder of Howth Foraging, where she leads immersive tours, workshops, and corporate experiences centred on the culinary and medicinal use of wild plants, herbs, and fungi. And Nicola's journey with foraging began in childhood, guided by generations of family knowledge passed down from her great-grandmother to her mother. Today, she blends that deep heritage with modern understanding to help people reconnect with the natural world. So please join me in welcoming Nicole.
Thanks, Nessa. Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me, and nice to see some familiar faces here tonight. So thanks, Nessa, for the introduction. So I'm a little bit nervous because I'm like a forager out of the forest. Okay. So I suppose I'll start with what is foraging. So foraging is the art of collecting wild herbs, berries, fungi and edible plants. You will have heard of the hunter-gatherers. So the gatherers were generally the women and children, so they were the foragers, and the hunters were mostly the men who hunted wild animals and fish. We relied on foraging in Ireland until the first domesticated farmers arrived in 2000 BC. So on my tours, I cover culinary and medicinal aspects of wild plants, herbs and fungi. And we're just coming to the end of mushroom season, and it was like probably one of the best years for mushrooms in like 5 years. We had lots of porcinis, if you think you know them. So it was a great year. So for me, foraging it's about reconnecting with nature as well, and putting your hands back into the soil and like reconnecting into the mycorrhizal network underneath the ground and breathing in the ions of the forest. So it's about your well-being, for your mental health, for your physical health. Like it's really like people are always looking out or at this height and they're on the computers. Or when we go for a walk, we just walk and we look out like this. We don't actually go down to the ground and reconnect. And there's something magical about that. So yeah, my introduction to foraging began when I was a child under my mother's guidance. So my mum taught me a lot about medicinal plants and traditional remedies. And practices were passed down through generations from my great-great-grandmother to my grandmother to my mother, and now I pass it to my children. So I have a funny story that my great-grandfather in Arklow, County Wicklow, when he was working in his career, he fell off a church roof and he really hurt his back, so he suffered with arthritis. So my great-grandmother, when he come home from work, she'd rub his back with nettles. So it's called urtication, and what this would do would give him great pain relief. So it kind of causes inflammation, but it takes away the pain, and it works as an anti-inflammatory when it goes inside. So nettles, I think in Italian is it ortica? Someone can correct me. Okay, I got it. Okay, ortica. So I suppose in Ireland we traditionally use nettles in springtime. So after a hard winter and people felt weak, grandmothers would make the family tea with nettles and with blackberry leaves. So the nettles will provide lots of minerals. So they're packed full of like vitamin A, vitamin C, K, B vitamins, which are great for your nervous system. They're full of iron, calcium, potassium, magnesium, phosphorus, zinc, copper. So they're super good for our immune system. The blackberry shoots have lots of antibiotic properties. So this was an amazing medicine to make after a long winter. Also, nettles have an antihistamine effect. So if we take nettles from springtime on, if anyone suffers with hay fever or asthma or allergies, it can really help to take it down. So and especially to use local nettles as well. So it kind of works as a natural antihistamine in your body. I used to even give them to my daughter when she was younger. She had allergies and asthma, and it definitely helped her. So, a bit more about nettles. Keep an eye on my time because that's all I remember. The nettles as well, they host at least 5 butterfly species in Ireland and 18 species of moth. So they're really important for pollinators, which help to increase organic food production. You can make nettle pesto, you can make nettle soup, nettle tea, you can lacto-ferment nettles, you can make nettle lasagna, which is my mom's specialty. So yeah. I'm just going to move on to another favourite herb of mine. So dandelion, I hope I'm going to say it right. Omar, is it dandelion? Sophione. Okay, and dandelion. Okay, so the dandelion, we have one there actually. It's this little guy here. So the dandelion, the health benefits. So it's great for the liver, it's great for the gallbladder, so it helps the gallbladder produce bile, which feeds our liver. So eating dandelion a half an hour before you eat your dinner helps to aid digestion, okay? So dandelions were an important source and medicine throughout the ages. So they were used by the Egyptians, the Greeks, the Romans, and even in Chinese and Asian medicine. So they're good for your eyes, they're good for your skin, they're good for your heart and your nervous system. You can make dandelion coffee, dandelion honey, dandelion syrup. I even make dandelion coffee vegan cake, so dandelion vegan cream icing for cakes as well. So dandelions are really important in the garden as well. So like if you have dandelions growing in your garden, all the bees will come and visit your garden, all the wasps.
It would be the first food, wouldn't they, every spring really?
Every spring, one of the first flowers, yeah, after the celandine. So yeah, and when you bring the bees into your garden, they stay there until the dandelions finish, and then they go up into your orchards, into your apple trees, into your raspberries, and whatever vegetables you have growing, or your roses, and they'll pollinate it. So you keep the bees in your garden then, and you have an amazing garden. So like dandelions are just absolutely amazing.
Fabulous. And would they be something in Italy as well? Would you have as many dandelions as we have now? Our gardens, our back garden could be full of dandelions in the spring. Would it be similar for nettles? And would it? Yes. Yeah. So that's good.
It's a good for the garden. Sorry. It's excellent for the garden. It's also for the view of the garden, because the biodiversity. It's important.
Yes, and wealth of benefits. And you have nettles too, I assume, over in Italy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot here. There's a lot here in Ireland. Nettles everywhere. Yeah.
So that's why I actually went for tree plants, three of my favourite plants, but also I was thinking because you'd know them in Italy as well, or well, hopefully they'd be used the same way as we would have. Yeah.
The same, yeah.
So I'm going to finish with this one here. This is this one, Nessa.
Yes.
The plantain. So you're going to have to help me, Omar, again. So plantain. Herbali plantagine.
Plantagine.
Okay.
Wow, excellent.
Okay. That's it. Thank you. So plantain, if anyone's been out foraging with me, they'll know this is probably my favourite plant. So we can use it as a vegetable. So it's high in dietary fibre and potassium. So you can eat it, it's nice and filling. But also it's amazing, it's antibacterial, analgesic, so that means like it will make you go numb. It's anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, antibacterial. So if you're out in the forest and you cut yourself, or you get bitten by a mosquito, or by a midgie or anything, or a wasp, or even an ant, if you go to your plantain, and you can break down the leaf, and you can get this like mucilage out from it. I won't do it now because I'll have big green hands, but it's really fantastic to use, and the soldiers would have used this throughout World War I and World War II. Yeah, to stop hemorrhaging, and if they didn't have plasters and they were wounded, they would use the plantain.
And how would you identify that, Nicole?
So we actually have several different types of plantain. So we have the river plantain, we have a maritime plantain, we have a Lancelot plantain, we have broadleaf plantain. So we have several different types. If anybody wants afterwards, what I do is you crush up the leaf, and it smells like, you know, Play-Doh that the children's play with. Yeah, so this is what plantain smells like. So that's a really good way to identify it.
Exactly, and often when you go foraging and you do this for the first time, then you realise the next time you go, it's, oh yeah, that's what that was.
You'll know what it
and
is,
you'll know it again, and the same with wild garlic, or with any kind of those wild herbs, that once you actually get that distinctive smell, you'll never forget it, and then you know the next time. Absolutely. It's all a learning process too, isn't it? Yeah, no, absolutely. And as well, actually today, plantains are just as a medicine. It's used for your tummy, for IBS, for diverticulitis, for so many things. And for your throat as well. Okay. So for people like us who have to speak a lot, plantain is really good in a tea because it helps to soothe your throat. And we'll be tasting some plantain and dandelion today that I was out foraging for Angelo, for our caterer tonight. So you'll be able to sample some of Howth's finest dandelion and plantain. Oh, that's amazing. That's lovely. That's lovely. Thank you so much. That's very interesting and so insightful. It's amazing, really. There's so many things that we walk past every day and we don't actually realise the benefits of them. And so many people would see them as weeds and they're just, you know, sprayed or got rid of. And really, if we go back to our generations, as you're saying, with, you know, generationally, say, they would have been valued and used, and every single thing would be, like, say, documented what they were used for. And it's, we can learn so much from that, and it's wonderful that you're giving these courses now and passing on these traditions too, because it's so important.
The plants a lot of the time will tell you what they do as well.
Amazing.
Yeah, so you could, like, they'll have like self-heal, you know, so heals yourself, or speed wells, or so the plants will tell you what they do as well. So,
oh, that's amazing, Nicole. That's lovely. Thank you so much, and we'll go back to some of those topics now again. But next we have Andrew, and Andrew is the co-owner of Quick Crop, one of Ireland's leading experts in home cultivation. And sorry now, I thought I was going to have trouble with the Italian words. I'm stumbling on the English ones too. Quick Crop is among the country's largest suppliers of seeds, herbs and vegetable plants for consumers, helping people grow their own fresh, flavoursome produce at home. And Andrew brings a wealth of knowledge on everything from small space gardening to selecting varieties that will thrive in the Irish climate. Isn't that right, Andrew?
That's right.
Please welcome, join me in welcoming Andrew here this evening.